So in our work together on this design process this fall, we've been trying to answer this question: are there our students really ready for college, career, and community? How can we present challenging, preparing, and assessing our pathway students through capstone projects? That was a focus for each of ours, since we all have career tech ed pathways at our high schools. And that's our 4 schools that have been working together, not just this year, but last year as well, in a variety of ways as a cohort. And these are some of the things that we've been working on in ways that we've been working together. So this isn't a new relationship, this is an established relationship over the past year. We've met multiple times in the past year for Administrative Learning Academy. So when administrators meet, we meet as a cohort, and we have common goals. Also, we have met with the Pathway Leadership Series, where we brought site-specific staff and teachers around common questions so that we can share practice and engage in conversations to problem solve for our individual sites. We did linked learning journeys. We went and visited schools in different parts of California to learn about their programs, for their career tech ed programs. We also have the Capstone Innovation Series. That's where we're at now this fall. And our instructional rounds we do together as well, and we have a common problem of practice, and we visit each other's schools to provide feedback and get the experience of other schools. So we have an established relationship from last year until this year.
One of the opportunities that we get to be able to work with each other for 2 consecutive years is the ability to cross-pollinate and see what are the strong initiatives that are occurring at other schools, and maybe adopt some of those initiatives, whether they're structural or instructional shifts. And one of the things that we borrowed from O'Connell and adopted at Balboa is at the end of the year we tagged on 4 additional professional development days for over half of our certificated staff, to be able to reflect on the lessons or the units or overarching projects, learn about other capstones, and then revise so that the capstones can continue to bring into fruition the graduate profile of Vision 2020.
And Frida mentioned some of the structural shifts and the instructional shifts, and O'Connell has taken these on starting about 5 years ago. And the thing that's galvanizing all 4 schools as a cohort, and the incredible transformative piece for O'Connell in particular, is the senior capstone. This opportunity to genuinely see every single graduating senior demonstrating the graduate profile, including the content knowledge, the knowledge of self, knowledge of community, and the career and life skills. In particular, I think about some of my seniors, one of whom was able to use her knowledge of behavioral science to design an app for young people to manage their anxiety, including the primary research that she's doing actually with her peers and the professional journals. I'm thinking about a young man who was creating a proposal for fast fashion that was sustainable, drawing on his content knowledge of different generational trends in U.S. history. And I'm also thinking about a young woman who wanted to tackle the problem of human isolation using art. And so actually did some graphic mapping of how interactions will change when you install an interactive art project in the school. So for me, it has been such a joy to be working alongside these other schools, because we're in this together. And as you heard Julie say, we're able to cross-pollinate and go on these learning journeys together. We have this unique vision that sets us apart from other high schools in the city, to genuinely see every kid ready for college and career, living that graduate profile through the senior capstone.
So this is the shared overarching challenge. How might we rally around a compelling vision for jaw-dropping? Everybody say jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping.
Drop the jaw.
Jaw-dropping. Demonstrations of the SFUSD graduate profile in all of our pathways and for each and every student. So the ideal is when you're a senior, you are able to display all that hard work over the last 4 years of your high school experience. What was that all for, right? So that's the whole reason we're together, so that we can, use each other. We don't have to work in silos. Our schools have a unified vision that we want to see. So we are kind of changing doing what a regular comprehensive high school looks like. We're trying to do things a little bit different so that our students will graduate and say, this is what I learned in the last 4 years, and I am empowered to move forward after that.
Through this design process this fall, we've been able to look at some models of other schools and how they have also used capstones in their school sites. So now we're going to transition to hearing from 3 of the schools in this cohort. Thank you very much.
I'm Chris Wood. I'm a construction teacher in the construction environment technologies pathway.
And I'm Matt Colley. I teach history in the public service pathway.
O'Connell's been undergoing senior capstone work in this spring of 2020. It'll be the 5th year that we've undergone this process. Lots of learning across the board, and every year we are looking to expand and maximize impact. So this design challenge is really a continuation of that ongoing work and our ability to kind of work through that. We are a project-based learning school. We're a small school. We undergo master grading. We do PBL. And senior capstone is really kind of a culmination of all those pieces in service of reaching the graduate profile. So our design challenge is our capstones do not yet have student direction and real-world mentorship in a way that is transformative for each and every student. And as a small school, when we say each and every student, it literally means each and every student in service of senior capstone. And what we're trying to work through in terms of the graduate profile is sense of purpose, sense of self, and then career and life skills. Right? So that's what we're working on.
So our discovery phase had 3 main steps. We did a teacher fishbowl with the 11th and 12th grade pathway teachers to hear their voices about what's working and not working with capstone, with a particular focus on mentorship and student engagement. We conducted an alumni survey and then research, which was basically looking at what's happening at other schools. So some key insights from this, first from the teacher fishbowl, was really that relationships are the key part of effective mentorship. Different pathways have tried different things with mentorship, and it was basically like if the student had a strong relationship with that mentor, that teacher, then it was great. And if that relationship wasn't there, it wasn't going to be built through the context of the mentorship. There was also a roadblock around new staff and how to onboard new staff to a very complex process of mentorship. And then clear and consistent communication was a barrier that had happened. The more voices you bring in, you have your teachers, you have the mentor. Are they all saying the same thing to the student, or in a way that makes sense for the student and doesn't actually help them with frustration? Another insight from the alumni survey was that this is actually what students want. So they said they wanted more consistent mentorship. They wanted increased one-on-one check-ins and just more folks to kind of like guide them through the process and check in and make sure that nothing fell through the cracks. And then with regards to the third part, which was the research where we looked at what's happening in other schools, we learned, similar to what our staff said, mentorship can really be a mixed bag. But I think the key takeaway from this was that we can't expect to have other adults automatically know how to work with our students. In other words, we have to teach the adults, and we need to mentor the mentors. And so that's really what kind of led into one of our solutions and one of the items that we put in.
So solution mentor support system, we don't want to just throw out, this idea of mentorship. Here, come talk to our students, help them with the project. There's the what project, which student, what high school kids, sure, I can talk to them, right? Theory of change, we provide increased support for teachers to train their different students who have more high quality, consistent mentorship, which will help them. So the idea here being that we need to actually teach the mentors to mentor. Most people think they can teach high school students until they actually do that. The measures we're going to try to use to measure whether it's working is a senior survey, senior capstone reflection, and pass and retake rates, which we have data for 5 years on now. Hopefully we'll see a spike on. That's what we're looking for. One of the other things that we hope to do is equitable access. So our students who definitely need more help. And we will, through the process of helping all of those, helping mentors, choosing mentors, working with the mentors and training them, we'll know the ones that will be needing the most prepared.
So one prototype that we have started working on is creating a mentor guide. And so all that we've created so far is a table of contents, which is sort of like our outline for ourselves. And we prototyped it. So we sent it to different industry partners, folks from JBS, folks from Meta, Mission Economic Development Agency, and folks at the PUC, Public Utilities Commission, to get their feedback. Basically, like, what do you think about this? Would you read this? Would this be helpful? And can you use this to help recruit industry mentors for our students? So some of the warm feedback we got was that, yes, it would help us with the apps. Yeah, that sometimes, like, we partner with someone at the PUC. She does outreach in the PUC, but she's always like, I don't actually know what I'm asking my colleagues for. So this, she said, would really help them so that they know, like, what am I signing up for? What's the time commitment? Where do I need to be when? Some of the feedback of things we need to work on was to provide sample projects so that mentors kind of can see some models and know what they're shooting for. And then to consistently follow up with calendar invites and like conference calls or phone meetings before mentorship meetings. So the feedback was, this is great, but don't just give them a handbook and expect them to then know how to mentor. So there's a lot of follow-up.
So the phase-in plan, spring 2020 handbook writing draft, got to write it, right? Upper division peer review, we need to write it, and then we need to get it out to the people that are going to benefit from it, people that are really going to use it, which are the teachers and how they'll use it with the mentors. Incorporate the feedback, develop the mentor orientation, and the outreach and selection, how are we actually going to do that? How are we going to set that up? Where are we going to find these people? There's a lot of things to do here. The pilot mentorship program. There's selected students in pathways. That should be first. That's what we're doing next semester. We're going to have, I don't know the exact number, but there's going to be probably 10 students in my pathway, a number in Matt's pathway, and we're going to pilot the mentor program by selecting people we already know, already work with, mentors that we feel are already ready for the task, put them on it. We're going to launch the mentor program in 2020. We're aiming for mentorship for all of our students. Organize pathway mentor managers. That's going to be somebody in the pathway. Every pathway is going to have to mentor, have somebody as a staff member that is going to manage the mentors. In other words, do the daily touch. Push mentor handbook out to all the industry partners and CDOs. That happens in the fall and spring. We have an orientation. All the seniors are assigned a capstone mentor. Mentor survey and reflection comes after, and then we'll incorporate the feedback. Planned work, lots of writing and editing, soliciting feedback, organizing launch events. So we're talking about a lot of writing, a lot of training, and a lot of outreach, and then event organization. We need release days, extended hours for planning, agenda space and CPTs and staff. That's almost a master schedule ask. We're going to need to get people on. We're going to need to get space and time that's already earmarked for everything. Launch event and promotional materials, implementation team. Let's see. That's our pathway mentor managers. That's going to be the people in the pathway administrative muscle. That's guys like Nancy Susan. Mentor program leads, and those are going to be like the career SFUSD pathways, career pathways coordinators at the sites. Those will lead the entire thing, so that we've got a structure.
Great. In summary, we have 5 years of amazing work at O'Connell so far in terms of senior capstone. We really want to expand that and reach and maximize the adult profile for all students. A different way of saying that is our students are amazing. We saw our fifth graders present already. They just need more spark, right? Continue through secondary. And we're going to expand our resources in terms of using the San Francisco, the city, as more of a classroom space to pull the mentors in and bring them in, bring the students out. And these asks and these resources go directly to students, because the more work that students have directly with more adults in the city, the better their outcomes are.
Thank you.